Hey guys, hope you're having an awesome day. Today's question comes in from Calvin, who asked, Paul, are you always in a good mood? You always seem up, you always seem happy, you always seem like you're filled up with life and joy. Well, I'm almost always hyperactive, and so sometimes that throws people. Secondly, I'm not in a very good mood right now, but because I smile a lot, that tends to throw people as well. So the truth is, yes, I get in bad moods. In fact, I had a huge fight with a good friend of mine this morning, and we both ended up in a bad mood. So what do you do when you're wanting to achieve your goals and you're wanting to really get after life, you want to hustle, but you end up in a bad mood? What are you going to do about that? Well, here's what I tend to do. Maybe it'll help you as well. Number one, I tend to examine. I go back through the conversation. I go back through the details. I find out what was real, what wasn't real, what I created, what I made up, what I insinuated, what I projected, and things along those lines. So it's a little bit of work, but basically I look at all of it and say, you know what? I blew it, or they blew it, or here's how we both blew it. But what I don't do is sit in the middle of it and stew and think only about how I was right and they weren't. And that's what the majority of folks do, because then they end up just getting stalled out in life altogether by that. So the first thing I try to do is examine. And that usually takes a little while. I can't do that right off the bat because it's still real heated, or I'm real aggravated, or I'm real down about it. And so that makes it a little bit of a tough situation. So number one, examine. Number two, sometimes I just escape. I just get out, get away, get in the car, go to the gym, go out for a walk, go and cope and eat something. You know, it's amazing, now that I think about it, is how Five Guys burgers and fries can heal almost any wound. So I might go out and escape and cope and get my mind off of it completely by centering on something that I just love and enjoy. So sometimes I just escape. That's not always the best route, because we could spend a lot of our time in the escape, but at times it's necessary just to have a break, just to get out of the environment, to get out of the atmosphere, to get away from the person if that's needed, and just give you a little bit of distance. So sometimes you need to escape. And then number three is execute. What's the list of stuff you got to get done? Focus that energy, make it a target, use it as fuel to get a lot of things done. And instead of taking your aggression or even your sadness out on another human being, you take it out on your to-do list, on your task list, and you get after it and you pursue it and you use that energy. You have to train yourself to do this, guys. It's not something that's natural for most of us. Most of us get hurt or we get injured, as I talked about in one of the videos about being hurt. The truth is that when we're not in a good mood, or it's not anybody's fault but our own, and we just wake up in a bad mood, and we just wake up unmotivated, sometimes it just takes that push. Even the word motivation, it's about a motive, it's about movement, it's about direction, so that as long as we sit there thinking about what we should do, as long as we remain stagnant and stay internal, we're going to not go anywhere. We're not going to move. We're not going to take any action. We're probably going to stay in the mood that we're in. So if you want to change your mood, you got to change your movement. And usually execution is a way to do that. So three ways that I tend to deal with a bad day. Number one is I examine the reason for it. Number two is sometimes I'll escape. And number three, I will execute my to-do list and just really try to center in on that and allow everything else to disappear. And what do you know? Still in a little bit of a bad mood, but I feel better having gotten all that out. As always, success is not an accident. Be blessed.